Okay, here we go again. Welcome back to a new episode on the Crossbar channel. The Champions League is officially back. We had two great games today, PSG and Bayern Munich, and Tottenham playing AC Milan. So yeah, let's talk about who did what, where, and how, and what's my takeaway on the two games. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, let's start with PSG, the game at the Parc des Princes. Paris playing Bayern Munich. A little surprise on the starting lineup, the 4-4-2 for Paris. I mean, seeing Zaire Emery. Christophe Galtier was kind of saying already that he was going to play Zaire Emery and have Mbappe starting off the bench. Carlos Soler, I did not see him starting the game. I really thought Fabian Ruiz could have started instead of Danilo Pereira, which I didn't like. For some reason, he looks kind of tired, really quick. He looked tired midway to the first half. For some reason, he kind of picked up the pace in the second half, but he looked tired right at the beginning of the game. We had Nuno Mendes, Marquinhos, Sergio Ramos, Achraf Hakimi, Neymar, and Messi on the front line. Bayern Munich side, we had pretty much the front three: Jamal Musiala, Choupo-Moting, Kingsley Coman. Midfield, Leroy Sané, Joshua Kimmich, Leon Goretzka, Joao Cancelo, and three on the back: Pavard, De Ligt, and Upamecano. So Bayern Munich came in full force. They were pressing high beginning of the game, straight up in Paris' face. Paris defended a little too much to my taste the first half, and especially defending a little too deep. And they seemed to have like no idea what they wanted to do coming when they got the ball, which is usually Paris' strength. I mean, I was surprised. Verratti kind of did his thing, but Danilo Pereira and Carlos Soler in the beginning of the game was kind of like, lost. It looks lost. Anyways, the whole team was kind of defending too low, and Bayern Munich was pressing them high. Choupo-Moting, Kingsley Coman, Musiala, they gave them the business. Leroy Sané was a little bit, out of his game for some reason. I don't know if he's still pouting. I did hear some news coming out of Germany saying that he's not seeing eye to eye with the board right now. So did that impact the way he was playing? He looks a little bit detached for a big part of the game. Goretzka was not as flamboyant as I thought it would be. Now that was Joshua Kimmich. I mean, overall, like Bayern Munich played okay in the first half. It just looked like they dominated because Paris played way too low and they didn't get themselves any opportunities. I think the issue is, and that's my 2 cents, they lack pace going in counter attack. Like they had one opportunity that I remember, Messi, Neymar, and Zaire Emery. A 1-2 pass and a third pass, and it was Neymar actually. Neymar didn't have the speed to catch, to get past Upamecano and Joao Cancelo. So I think the lack of pace is what killed them. I thought in the second half, Galtier would twist it and bring on Kylian Mbappe and Ekitike to get that running game going, but for some reason he chose not to bring Ekitike. Second half adjustment, Bayern Munich scored, and just from there, all hell broke loose. Christophe Galtier was already prepping Mbappe to come in. As soon as Mbappe came in, the high press was still there, but you can tell it was measured. Even that, they got caught multiple times. I mean, as soon as the thing got twisted, Nuno Mendes came alive. He was pretty much the best Parisian player in the second half, especially at the end of the second half. I know Mbappe influenced the game a lot because when he's on the field, you have to mark him super tight. You can't let him running behind. But Nuno Mendes, what a player. He's only 18, 19, so he has a good progression margin. I think he played really well. Choupo-Moting has an opportunity that Donnarumma got on the post. Joshua Kimmich too had a nice strike, but other than that, not so much. Kingsley Coman had surprisingly his way a little bit with Hakimi. Hakimi got even subbed very early in the second half. But overall, if I'm only taking the first half, I'll say Bayern Munich was superior, but Paris played really poor. In the second half, although Bayern Munich scored, the bulk of the end of the second half was all Paris. And thirdly, Bayern Munich after the 60th minute, after Mbappe came in, it was all PSG. And they had a goal that was disallowed for offside, and they had plenty of opportunity on that left flank with Nuno Mendes. So that's the thing that Paris can lean on for the next game on March 8th, I think it is, the second leg. Starting with Mbappe, if they can rest their players and not get any more injury, get everybody back on the field, and actually start with the best 11, because this was Bayern Munich's starting 11 pretty much, unless you're going to say Choupo-Moting for Thomas Müller, but I think Choupo-Moting is going to start anyways because he's an actual natural striker, and he's also been in form. unless Gnabry is going to start instead of Leo Sané. But pretty much this is Bayern Munich starting lineup, and PSG did not play with starting lineup. So, and let's not forget this: the away goal does not count anymore. So Paris basically have to play a knockout game. They gotta win to go through. Bayern Munich can afford to draw, although it's not in their mentality to wait for a draw, but they have that as an option. Let's just jump right on the next game, which was AC Milan against Tottenham. And I would say, as predicted, AC Milan opted for a 3 centre-back defense with pretty much, it's basically a 5 defender, but everybody knows Theo Hernandez is no actual defender at this particular time. He's a winger, and so does Salamanca. Sandro Tonali also did the job. Really solid game. Rafael Leao played okay. A little bit. Typically Leao trying to be too impressive, but I wasn't necessarily too impressed because I've seen that before. Brahim Diaz came through. He scored the 7th minute. Olivier Giroud perfectly did his job, facing off with his nemesis Harry Kane. Tottenham, they just look a little too conservative and not a little too structured. Heung-min Son, Kulusevski, especially these two, I was expecting a lot more magic from these two, even Perisic as well. That's the Champions League. Sometimes the first game is just that you don't want to lose. You want to give yourself a chance to win at home. So when you play away, you don't want to blow out. You don't want to concede many goals. It was a fairly good game. I think Tata Osano had a good game, I would say. Simon Kjær also, like I mentioned, Tonali, Diaz. And as far as Tottenham, nobody really jumped on my head. I would say Heung-min Son and Kulusevski and Perisic was my favorite player in that squad. But today I was not taken away by the magic of the two. So Milan gets to win home, which is always good, even though there's no more away goal. Back in the day, this would have felt a little better, knowing that they could have, as long as they score away, they could lose 2-1 and still go through, or 3-2 and still go through. Now they just don't have to lose. If they don't lose, they go through. But there's no more calculation. You either win or you don't lose for AC Milan. And for Tottenham, no more trying to figure out how many goals we need to win from. Just get the W and then go from there. Now, of course, they don't have to win 2 more goals compared to AC Milan, but first and foremost, they got to have a win on their own turf in London. So, yeah, that's it for today. We had the two first game of the round of 16. Champions League coming back. Hopefully tomorrow we get better game, more entertaining games. Today the PSG game got better in the second half. The AC Milan and Tottenham game was a good game. Nothing legendary, I would say. A good game. Milan get through with the win. So it's Bayern Munich also with the win. Yeah, tomorrow we got Borussia Dortmund playing Chelsea and Club Brugge and Benfica Lisbon facing off. So if you haven't seen that preview video on that topic, go check it out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.